Everybody, welcome to a very special Bitcoin halving edition of Teaching Crypto. Happy Friday.
Happy halving, everybody.
Happy Bitcoin Friday. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Got some new viewers. We appreciate all of you so much. Help us out. Share the show. Hit that subscribe button. As always, the store and super chats are always open. It is the Bitcoin halving, and MrFOMO, even though this is technically day 28 of our red period here with negative price action, we got a nice bump in the last 24 hours, hit 59.5 and bounced back, and now we're roaring at 65K. And this is going to be a very positive show this morning. I want to show people right now first of all, our countdown. Today's the day for the halving. And so if you look right now, we're about 11 hours away, give or take, right? So sometime this evening, if you're on the East Coast here in the U.S., you're looking a little over, between 7 and 8 p.m., definitely probably before midnight, you are going to have the halving. Historically, and we'll talk about this, that has meant very good things for the next 12 months. And we're going to show a chart. It's going to make all Bitcoin holders that watch the show extremely happy and excited. But we've made it to the halving, MrFOMO.
That's right. We're here, and we've made it through all the horrible macro events and the dips and the dives that we've had leading up to the halving.
Bankruptcies.
Bankruptcies. It was a long crypto winter, wasn't it? And so I think this is what we've all been waiting for, not just the halving, but the post-halving price action is what we're looking at. And so this is an exciting day. I would have had my cigar ready, but I was leery to even put that thing in my mouth at 7:30 in the morning. So maybe later.
Well, here's the thing, the real bull run. Yes, it has already started for sure, 100%. But the really, really fun part is about to get started, hopefully, and that's what's super exciting, right? We talked about this. You're never always going up. Only that never happens. And so we've had this now dip this is day 28, and it's ironic that it's day 28 exactly 4 weeks on the halving. But I'm going to show you guys something that I'm going to show you a chart here that hopefully will get you excited. Now, you always want to be aware of history, right? So MrFOMO, let's take a look at this. This is Mr. Slim's back. The history. Now, this is not updated because this is 24 hours ago, and Bitcoin's well above 63K now. But if you look at those numbers, MrFOMO, you see what happens, okay? Mr. Slim. You see what happens here to Bitcoin after the halving. So, again, 2012, I'm not sure I would put a lot of stock into that, but that's, we have you had $12 Bitcoin, got up to $964 a year later. All right, 2016, okay, a little more recent, $663 a year later, $2,550. Okay, now, the one I'm interested in, which is going to be our closest link and predictor to the future, again, we're not saying history is going to repeat, but as they say, it sure does sometimes rhyme very closely here. If you're into poetry, 8,740 on the halving day. And look at that. A year later, this wasn't even the high for that cycle, 55,801. Okay. Right now, we're actually sitting at 65K. This again, that's how crypto goes. Even this post on X is outdated. But you see here, that would lead you to believe that 100K is a very, very bearish prediction. And I've changed my prediction already for this cycle based on what's happened. I thought 90K in December was good, and I thought anywhere between 1 and 120 in 2025 was good. But honestly, compared to past history, those are very bearish predictions.
Well, the crazy thing about this Bitcoin halving, I mean, each Bitcoin halving is historic in its own right, just because it never should have succeeded, right? Everyone is always saying it's dead. Every time it falls, there's somebody that's out there talking about how it's going to go to zero. Recently, it was Peter Schiff and all the gold bugs. But each halving is historic, but this one is even more historic because we reached new all-time highs prior to the halving. right? And so now going into this, we have to print another all-time high. It's bananas to think that we could go even higher than that after this. But like you said, we were predicting 90 to 100,000 prior to this point. And now that we've seen all this history happening, I think that probably 150K is within range. I don't know if we're going to get there, but I can see people 150 to 200, like Nazar is saying, is something that you're going to see a lot of. Now, I'm probably going to take profits well before that and probably a lot along the way. But now that we're at the halving event, this is your signal to start taking profits, not only on your altcoins, but maybe even on your Bitcoin once it starts to get to new all-time.
Once we start moving up again, we talked about this. You always got to be taking profits. Now, unless you have a target for Bitcoin in mind, right? So if you're going to wait till 90K and you got a lump sum at the beginning, you're not DCAing, great. 200K, I wish I saw that for this cycle. I'm just not sure. I feel pretty good about 120 to 150, though. I really do, Nazar. I feel good about that. 200 might be stretching it a bit. And it really depends. And, I was watching a video this morning from our friends at Token Metrics, and they have the bull run, MrFOMO, going into 2026. So you've got guys that have been in the space saying December 2024. Then you've got people saying March 2025. We talked about November 2025. Now, for the first time, I'm hearing some educated people say we could stretch into 2026. Now, that seems like a far stretch to me, but that's going to play a role in how big we get. Like, if somehow we go into 2026, 200K is very much in reach. But, if you look at Plan B, he has us going between 200 and 400K. But, I mean, those are very lofty. I think if you want to be a realist here, you want to just be honest, there's going to be some profit taking, right? And, Michael Saylor says he's never going to sell. Never going to sell. Okay. But wait 1 second. Do you trust BlackRock to never sell? Do you trust Fidelity to never sell? I wouldn't go there. And so what I'm saying is, don't get carried away. Be realistic. Dream of the 200 to 500K Bitcoin this cycle, but be happy with the 100 to 120K. And that's why you're not getting your hope. It's like a sports fan. If you go into every year thinking your team is going to win the Super Bowl, 99% of the time you're going to be disappointed, right? But getting to 120K is like making the playoffs. Going to 150 is like going deep in playoffs for you sports fans. So I really like where we're going. I actually, now that I really think about it, although it was depressing the last 28 days, we needed a reset. We were getting overheated going towards 74 this early in the cycle. And if we had kept going, we probably would have ended the cycle earlier. So although this has kind of been depressing because the prices have been down now for about 4 weeks, it was probably necessary. This happens all the time. This was a 20% reset here, a 20% dip. I do not see it going all the way through April, May, and June. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty optimistic that we'll bounce back. And in fact, right now we're at 65. We may have hit that low 3 times at 60. Hopefully we're on the way up here. And 3 months from now, we'll look back at and laugh at 65K, MrFOMO.
Yeah, and guys like Michael Saylor won't sell because they can borrow against their assets, right? Like he's not hurting for money anyway, and he has people give him money to buy his Bitcoin, right? He has like a collection that he holds for every time he wants to have another round of purchasing. So it's really not that guy is going to hold forever, and no one else is really in the same position as he is. But for me, I think I'm going to be taking profits along the way now that we're at the halving. My problem is not that I don't think Bitcoin is going up. I just don't see this exponential rise. We don't have the same secret sauce that we had last time. We had this perfect storm of everybody being at home, everybody with cash in their pockets, nowhere to go, nothing to do. The pandemic locked everybody down during the last Bitcoin halving and post halving. And so I don't know that you are going to see, and inflation's up. There's a lot of different things that are going to take money out of.
Well, let me be a contrarian to this.
Investment portfolios, and so I'm
but
not
let
sure
me,
that you're going to see this thing going all the way to the moon
but
this time, and that's one of the
Mr.
reasons
FOMO,
why I think that we should be taking profits along the way.
I'm
When you see the Bitcoin fear and greed index at like 95, maybe it's a good time to take profits. Maybe the market's a little bit overheated. We saw that the last time, just before the halving, when we hit the all-time high and the fear and greed index was super high. So just take a look at those kinds of things and those kinds of indicators that we've talked about before, and that'll give you an idea of where to take profits and when the market's
now.
getting overheated.
You talked about people being at home and having more money. The reality is there is more money into the space now than there was 4 years ago. Also, more money has been printed and is out there. And yes, retail has not come back in full force. However, Bitcoin searches on Google are now much, much higher than they were 30, 60, 90 days ago. And again, you've had the ETF, you've had the halving, but I'm just going to say this. When, and I think it will happen probably sometime in the fall, early winter, we break 90, we go towards 100K. And if this continues into 2025, which I think I will, I don't think this bull runs over December 2024. Although I'm going to be taking profits along the way so that if it is over, I'm not destroyed or screwed. That's you got to play
Yeah,
it that
I
way.
mean, in the
So,
altcoins, I'm going to be taking
yeah.
profits without a
No, I
doubt.
mean,
But
altcoins, anytime you
Bitcoin,
feel good and you're bragging, you probably should be taking profits. But Bitcoin itself, you know, I don't think we're going to top off in December of 2024. However, I would not be completely shocked if that happened. I do think we're going into 2025. But I
I
do
just
think,
don't. I really don't think that 2026. I think that's broken cycle theory, and I still don't think we're there yet. I still think it takes a lot more money to come in and break that cycle. I think 2026 we are going to be fully in the bear market, and that's going to be your time to accumulate again for
yeah,
sure. I mean, if you
I
look
was
at the chart,
surprised.
if you look at the charts on the yearly, the only thing that you can actually predict on the monthly and yearly charts is that every 4 years on the off years, 2026, 2022, you were going to have a chance to accumulate because Bitcoin was going to
So
be down.
I
That's
was
like
surprised.
biggest
I
the
was surprised
biggest
at that prediction.
indicator on
Yeah.
it.
Token metrics, they're kind of the leader in the field in terms of the statistics and advanced metrics. I was surprised that they believe this is going to 2026. That because I've had other people on X that have been in the space. They've been in there. You look at their credentials. They're saying, don't be shocked if we get overheated and it's gone. It's over before January 1st, 2025. So I was a bit shocked that they had that
Yeah.
prediction. My guess is it's
Sometimes
somewhere in
you
the middle,
can.
right? We're not going to end the beginning of December 2024, but we're not going to go all the way through into mid 2026. So if I had to guess, put a gun to my head, I hate that analogy. My best guess would be fall of 2025, pre-Thanksgiving. We have a top, and you're not going to realize it right away, right? Not necessarily. And we've been in the space for a while, so we'll probably have a good idea. And we're going to be honest with our viewers. But my guess is 2025 Thanksgiving, that not next Thanksgiving, but the Thanksgiving after, that's probably when the bear market is officially has begun.
Yeah, I just and to be honest with you, again, when we talk about Bitcoin reaching certain heights, when you look at the market, what's the biggest thing that you notice about the market now in terms of opportunity with coins? There's tens of thousands of them out there, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so I think that you also have to temper your expectations because there's going to be a lot of people that are coming in and they're going to say, maybe not Bitcoin. Let me throw it on one of these low caps like we're getting ready to talk about.
Yeah, why not? I mean, why not give our viewers something since they stayed with us for the entire episode. Okay, guys, I like this. You know how much I like Sol. Well, Marinade is kind of the king of staking on Sol. What I love about it is honestly, it's under $49 million in market cap. The volume is super, super high, building millions. And the thing is, this thing can easily, and for entertainers only, get to between 500 million and a billion market cap, in my opinion. I'm not saying it will get there, but I really like its chances to go much, much higher than it is here. it's easily available on all the exchanges too. That's the great thing about this one. But as Sol continues to get more and more popular, I think Marinade will get more and more popular. So you're getting it here. And for all, for transparency, I am in some Marinade right now. Not a ton, but a little bit. Got some barbecue sauce on the side here.
Shilling your own coin.
got the Traeger going here with the marinade sauce on the side. I like this a lot. I talked about Atlas Navi. That's taken a huge dip during this dump. If you haven't gotten into that one, go back and watch our old episodes about Atlas Navi. I like that one too. But here, this is obviously high risk, high reward. This could flame out easily. It's not a top 100 token, but at a little under 49 million, I like this one a lot, even though there's a decent amount in circulation right now. Not all the tokens are in circulation. So I'm loving the fact, right now, even though the total supply is 1 billion, only 262 million are actually right now in circulation. So I'm liking this one a lot. It's a real project. You don't have to worry about getting rugged. Again, this is not something I would hold for months and months and months. But, if it does a nice little 2 to 3x over the next couple months, take some profits, you'll be very happy with that.
Have a great day, Mr. Slim. Yeah, Nazar, call me a glutton for punishment there, but I am planning to reinvest that Voyager money when it comes in, as soon as it comes in, and it's going straight into crypto too. The thing I like about Marinade is the low cap. I love the fact that it's on Coinbase and it's easy available to any retail investor. But it's also a DeFi project, so it's basically an online bank, right? Like they're taking your Sol and your Marinade and they're loaning it out to other people. And apparently there's a high demand for it because these people are willing to pay, north of 8% in order to get their hands on that Sol or that Marinade. And so they're able to give you back 8%. So you got to assume that they're getting like 10 or 12% when they're loaning it out. And so I do like this because DeFi projects, we had the DeFi summer last time. DeFi is not going to go away. Sol's not going to go away. And so Sol staking, I think, is going to be important.
Well, you see that here, 107,000 users. As more and more people start using the Sol infrastructure, that could grow to 3 to 4 to 500,000 users. And if that does happen, you'll see the price go way up. Again, we're not claiming this is definitely going to 100x or even 10x, but I like it here if you've got a little bit of gas to throw into the fire, into your portfolio. Again, this is more of a high risk, high reward. You're not buying Bitcoin, you're not buying Sol, you're not buying ETH, but these little gems, under the radar gems, these smaller caps, can have a way of really helping you out during the long run.
Yeah.
So
we talked about Muse before too, and Muse has like an $7.8 million market cap. But these low cap gems, especially now as we're getting into the bull run, as we're passing the halving, those are going to be the ones that run, and you're going to want to be into them early. So if you have
remember to take profits.
Go ahead and knock yourself out.
Remember to take profits. I think that's the most important thing. Don't expect to hold these things for
Don't be married to these tokens.
Absolutely. Well, you guys have a happy Bitcoin halving day. Hopefully we see 70K sooner rather than later. Help us out. Hit that subscribe, hit that bell notification, and share the show. For Mr. FOMO, this is AZcrypto. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody.
See ya.